starts right now.
We know that many of you are celebrating right now. The Dallas Cowboys just wrapped up their Monday night matchup with the LA Chargers.
Let's go straight to LA. Larry, Mary, live in Inglewood, California tonight, where this game got scary. Guys.
Yeah, it sure did. And I'll tell you what a fantastic game. The Cowboys win it 20-17. Mary, just your initial thoughts on this Cowboys victory they pulled out, thanks in large part to that interception to end it.
If you could just erase everything that happened in between from the start to where Dak Prescott had that amazing touchdown to the end with the first sack of the game and the first interception of the game coming on the final drive, then it would be an amazing game. But unfortunately, there were a lot of questionable things that the Cowboys had going on during that game with penalties.
One thing I love that the Cowboys did today, they threw the ball to Tony Pollard, and he was successful.
He was very successful. His final stat line, 7 for 6 for 80 yards receiving. That's it. That's a huge thing. And CeeDee Lamb ended up perfect 7 for 7.
So I know they like to say here, whose house? Rams' house. That wasn't the case today. Whose house? Cowboys' house.
Big
this
time.
Was a Cowboys crowd. I felt like we were in Arlington, Texas. You?
It was so loud. It was all Cowboys fans, and luckily for them, the Cowboys pulled it off. Again, it was the Chargers and Cowboys actually played pretty equal, and at the start of the season, you wouldn't have expected that from the Cowboys with how confident they felt coming into the year. So, we'll see how they debrief from this game, but overall, they got the job done.
We happen to be on the end by the Cowboys tunnel where they're going on and off the field. Yeah. Talk about all the smiles you saw when the high fives. I mean, they were ecstatic.
CeeDee Lamb was so relieved to have the game that he had. At least that's what it looked like to me. And Stephon Gilmore is the man for pulling that off at the end to really seal the deal.
So put yourself in the Cowboys' shoes. How do you think they're going to feel during the bye week, knowing they came off a victory they really needed to have?
They're going to feel good, but you have to address those penalties. I think they finished with like 10 penalties. Excuse me if that's a little bit off, but it's not too far off. I mean, they had a loss of like 55 yards for those penalties, so that's going to be a major area that needs to be addressed. But overall, you got the job done. I mean, that's what Mike McCarthy tries to do. He just tries to, win games.
Cowboys stepped up at the very end where they needed it. Micah Parsons got a sack. Stephon Gilmore got the interception to seal the deal. The Cowboys win 20-17. They will now enjoy their bye week, feeling very good about themselves before they resume the season October 29th at home with the LA Rams. For Mary, I'm Larry. Back to you guys in San Antonio.
All right, thank you, guys. Of course, we'll check in with you a little bit later in this newscast. But right now, a controversial policy within the Alamo Heights Police Department.
So that department is actually taking pictures of drivers, even if officers don't cite those drivers or even charge them with a crime. Now, we found out about this after an Alamo Heights police officer pulled over one of our own, a KSAT reporter.
A KSAT investigates Dylan Collier, looks into the practice and the civil rights concerns it may raise.
The person behind the wheel of this car being pulled over is a familiar face to KSAT viewers. Reporter Jonathan Cotto.
I'll be on the 100 block of East Castano.
The award-winning journalist was stopped near Alamo Heights High School September 4th. An AHPD officer apparently spotted that Cotto's registration sticker was expired.
Yes, actually, I just got my state inspection done.
Okay. Do you have your driver's license and insurance?
The officer gave Cotto a warning, but as the 4-minute traffic stop concluded,
I do got to get a quick picture. If you could just look right here. Thank you.
What's the picture for?
Let's just say that you were the one driving when I stopped you. It's not going to go post it nowhere.
Yeah, I work for the news.
It just didn't feel good.
Cotto, who again was given a warning and not a citation, said the incident unfolded so fast he didn't have time to challenge what was taking place.
Having a person of authority, taking your picture, I didn't really, there wasn't enough room for question.
KSAT Investigates asked for a copy of all photographs taken of motorists by Alamo Heights Police from September 2021 through early last month. Officials confirmed the nearly 10,700 records taken over the past 2 years are maintained by a third-party vendor off-site, but have not said how many contain images of drivers.
My initial legal reaction is this is constitutionally suspect.
Civil rights attorney Rebecca Weber said the Alamo Heights police practice may run afoul of the Fourth Amendment. It protects citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures by the government. Then there's this, the policy itself, which states the images are used for photo identification for potential suspects involved in crimes that have yet to even be reported.
Is this actually helping the community, or is this just setting them up for a huge lawsuit?
Weber said the officer who pulled over Cotto appeared to violate her own department's rules for taking a photo without giving him a chance to object. AHPD officials refused to make Chief Richard Pruitt available for an interview, stating they answered our records requests and had nothing further to add.
What we've seen across our country and where we've been as a country, I think police departments should do everything in their power to work with the community they serve. And taking photos of people is something that's very antagonizing and triggering.
KSAT Investigates looked at the other law enforcement agencies in the San Antonio area. The two biggest agencies, SAPD and the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, have no such policy of photographing motorists. The Castle Hills Police Department does. Its chief defended the practice, claiming that a warning is still considered a court document. Universal City and Live Oak Police photograph motorists, but only in instances when the driver doesn't have a driver's license. For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
They are fighting to keep their schools open, and parents did not hold back this evening as San Antonio ISD board members held a meeting tonight. And during the public comment portion, parents shared their views about the district's right-sizing proposal.
You see, the district is planning to close some schools. A lot of parents and community members flat out, they don't like it. So that's what they told trustees. So it was a packed house at SAISD headquarters. This was the last meeting before the right-sizing vote, the last board meeting, that is. The school district is considering a proposal that would eventually close 19 campuses because of low enrollment. Well, today, parents and community members shared their thoughts on the proposal and the process.
A vote for yes in November is a vote against community. A vote no is a promise for engagement and more meaningful conversation that respects the values of all stakeholders and equal partners in our students' education.
It's profit over education, profit over people. We need education. You're destroying the future of the students. By closing, it's going to be a dog fight.
So SAISD is holding 9 public meetings until the board finally votes. The next one is happening tomorrow at Huppert's Elementary. That one starts at 6, and the board is going to vote on the proposal, the so-called right-sizing proposal, on November 13th. The city of San Antonio using part of its $3.7 billion budget to tackle homelessness. That issue was, of course, front and center at a town hall tonight in City Council District 4.
The Night Team's John Paul Barajas was there as people asked questions about the city's plan. He joins us now. John Paul, it's certainly not hard to find the problem in our city, but what are some of the major concerns when it comes to homelessness?
Steve, Stephanie, people brought up a wide variety of concerns and questions, but the main 3 that we did hear were concerns with losing their own home, affordable housing, and if encampment sweeps were humane. Now, District 4 Councilwoman Adriana Rocha Garcia addressed those concerns alongside representatives with Haven for Hope, Corazon Ministries, and South Alamo Regional Alliance for the Homeless. The councilwoman noted the city budget has $200,000 for rental and utility assistance to help prevent more people from experiencing homelessness. As for those who have additional property and want to help provide affordable housing, officials pointed to Opportunity Home. It can help with housing vouchers and how they benefit both landlords and those in need of shelter. Leadership at tonight's meeting also stressed the need for more housing, not just now, but in the future.
We need close to 30,000 units of affordable housing in the next decade to keep up with the demand in that time, and 1,000 units of permanent supportive housing in addition to that. And so the city with their housing bond is chipping away at that, but we still have more work to do.
Lastly, they said the extra housing is needed as the city plans to conduct 700 encampment sweeps during the 2024 fiscal year. Officials at the town hall say sweeps alone are not the solution, but with advance notice, they can be done humanely. The city has set aside $700,000 for homeless prevention, communication efforts, and neighborhood outreach. If you want to watch the full town hall, we have that on our website, KSAT.com. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
JP, thank you. In other news tonight, a man accused of decapitating another man and killing his dog is being held at a $1.5 million bond. San Antonio police say that brutal crime happened at a home on San Lucas Street last Friday, which is just a few miles from Joint Base San Antonio Lackland. An arrest affidavit for the suspect, 35-year-old Bradley Dimmick, says that he was found about a mile from the home. Police say they were called for a man walking around and looking into cars. The affidavit says that Dimmick told police he committed the murder before officers found the body. COVID vaccines, human trafficking, and immigration, those are all on the table as state lawmakers return to Austin Thursday for their third special legislative session. Now, last week, the state Senate passed the following bills. They are right here. Senate Bill 4, which would ban private employers from requiring employees to have a COVID vaccine. Then we have Senate Bill 7, which would increase penalties for human trafficking at the border, and Senate Bill 11, that would allow law enforcement to charge undocumented immigrants with state trespassing. Now, the Senate also passed a bill on school vouchers last Thursday. That's been referred to a House committee, but a hearing on that has yet to be scheduled.
President Joe Biden set to visit Israel. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken saying that will happen on Wednesday during a, quote, critical moment for Israel, for the region, and for the world, end quote. This is Israeli forces are poised for a ground invasion of Gaza. The goal to destroy the terrorist group Hamas following last week's deadly attacks in Israel. According to the U.S. Defense Department, 2,000 U.S. troops have been told to be ready for possible deployment to the region. Meanwhile, a State Department official says since Friday, it's offered 4,000 American citizens and their immediate family members help departing Israel through government-organized charter flights. It is one of San Antonio's most popular spots for tourists and locals. Soon going to be growing, apparently. Why some people have concerns about the expansion near the Pearl Brewery.
It's been just over 7 months since the iconic Pig Stand closed. The restaurant at Broadway and Casablanca is just pretty much, you know this. It's a prime location. You see it everywhere in town. It's just across from the Pearl.
Yeah, that's right next to the Government Hill neighborhood. And as the Night Team's Patty Santos explains, there are some questions about one developer's big proposal for all this.
The corner where the Pig Stand restaurant once stood for 100 years could become San Antonio's next entertainment, shopping, and dining hotspot. These images by a marketing firm show a grand vision set that could become the Besa district. The proposal would bring multi-family housing, restaurants, entertainment, and a hotel on the southeast corner of Broadway in Casablanca. City staff are expected to recommend a request zoning change for the project Tuesday, but that corner is just part of a greater vision the developer has.
How is this development going to get back to the community?
Government Hill Alliance Neighborhood Association President Rose Hill has a lot of questions about a proposal that could bring high-end retailers like Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and a hotel to an area that borders her neighborhood.
We just need to know what's going to be here and parking, adequate parking, and what kind of retail stores are we talking about? Because it's got to be also something that the people in this neighborhood can afford.
Hill says she's concerned that the developer or the city had not reached out to the neighborhood association ahead of Tuesday's meeting.
Communication is a key factor, and keeping a good relationship with any kind of partners, especially developers. If they don't communicate with us, it sends a bad message.
The development would be along the border of Districts 1 and 2. Staff for District 2 Councilman Jalen McKee Rodriguez told KSAT their office had not been approached by the developer. District 1 Councilwoman Sue Kaur said she just learned about the overall project.
I always think it's important to make sure we're mitigating any consequences when it comes to development, making sure we're talking to residents and ensuring that their quality of life, that they won't be pushed out of their neighborhoods, that we're keeping people in homes as we create more housing for folks.
According to the marketing details, the project could be done in 2 phases, with the first starting in 2024. The plan also includes other properties already owned by the developer around the area. We reached out to the developer Gray Street Partners and the marketing firm Shop Company several times over the past week, but we have not heard back. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
We'll stay on top of it. Let's take a live look outside right now with live cam. 59 degrees out there. This is, A little warmer than maybe what we woke up to this morning, but it was a how do you do morning for a lot of us.
Yeah, and if you had your windows open all night, you definitely felt it inside this morning. And
hoodie weather.
Hoodie weather, that's a good way to put it. Not quite sweater weather, but hoodie weather on the way. Yes, that's what's headed our way. Of course, another cool morning, actually a couple more cool mornings, and then we'll see a warming trend. But I want to put it into perspective for you. 47 degrees tomorrow morning is our forecast. That'll be the coolest temperature we've had in 211 days. We have to go all the way back to March for something that cool. Now, temperatures will warm up, and we're just looking at the mornings here in this graph. 47 tomorrow, near 51 on Wednesday. Then we're back closer to 60. But notice how we go back to average for this time of year. So we're actually well below average. This is what you can expect tomorrow morning. Del Rio 52, Cotulla 50. Canyon Lake 45, lower 40s up in the hill country. Helotes 45, downtown about 49, Timberwood Park 43. So hoodie, sweatshirt, light jacket in the morning, but by the noon hour, you can have a t-shirt on. Sunny and 70 at that point. And then into the afternoon, we get up to 78 degrees. So similar to today, you'll feel the chill in the morning. By the afternoon, the sun will feel good, and we'll have low humidity, temperatures in the 70s. Actually, a few degrees below average for this time of year. Bandera 79 tomorrow, Floresville 78, Bulverde and Bernie 77. Afternoons are on the upswing as well. 80s Wednesday and Thursday, and then by Friday and Saturday we see those high temperatures back in the lower 90s. So 90s aren't quite over with yet, but you look at the month as a whole so far, it's basically an even split between above average and below average days. The warmest reading was in the 90s, 97, and the coolest was 50 degrees, and that was earlier this morning. We need rain though. Yes, we like enjoying these temperatures, but we could use some rain. We're stuck in between the Big Blue H off to the west and a big trough, big dip where the rain is in the eastern U.S. Unfortunately, we're not going to see any major changes, so our rainfall potential is nil for the next 7 days. Not even really hope for rain around here, not even a glimmer of hope. It's all going to be deflected well around Texas, so unfortunately dry, but at least we can enjoy some fall conditions and fall temperatures. The humidity is not going to be back until Sunday, Monday. So we have a long time till the humidity returns. Mornings back near 60 later this week, afternoons in the lower 90s, and a lot of sunshine. I do want to point out, we have a space station flyover tomorrow morning. If you're at the bus stop, 7:05 a.m., that's when you need to look up. It's going to appear over the southwest horizon at 7:05, get up to almost 90 degrees, almost directly above us, and it'll last 7 minutes disappearing to the northeast. Perfect time for many bus stops out there with the kids outside. So look up, 7:05.
Just make sure they're wearing sweaters while they're waiting for their bus tomorrow morning. It's just upsetting that Mary and Larry, our new team, that they're actually away in Cali and they're not getting to enjoy this weather. But I will say, Nick, crazy night.
Yeah, I think they're probably enjoying themselves.
Yeah, I think they have a little bit of fun, and that's putting it lightly when it comes to all the madness that we witnessed this evening when it came to our games. The Dallas Cowboys were in a slugfest in more ways than one when it came to tonight's Monday Night Football showdown against the Los Angeles Chargers. We're going to break down the highlights and hear from the team. Plus, there was a different kind of hitting when it came to Game 2 of the American League Championship Series. Some big swings and big moments coming up next.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Monday Night Football, some of the best words you can ever hear. And for the Dallas Cowboys and their trip to Los Angeles to take on the Chargers, it started with a pre-game scuffle. Now, the Cowboys ran out of the tunnel through an area that the Chargers were warming up. And then Chargers running back Austin Eckler caught a right hand that knocked his helmet off. After things calmed down, the Chargers punched back with Justin Herbert fighting Keenan Allen for a short TD toss. Then on 4th and 1 from the 18-yard line, Dak Prescott keeps it himself and takes off for an 18-yard TD run. That's the longest rushing touchdown of his career. Tied at 10 in the fourth quarter. Prescott backpedaling and throwing it off his back foot to Brandon Cooks, who comes down with it for his first touchdown as a Cowboy. After a muffed punt, the Chargers answered play action on 4th and goal. Herbert connects with Gerald Everett to tie it at 17. The Cowboys offense was stopped, so Brandon Aubrey comes up to drill a 39-yard field goal to take the lead. So it's time for the defense to step up. They pressure Justin Herbert, and he throws a wobbler that's intercepted by Stephon Gilmore to end it as the Cowboys win it 20-17. Let's go to the Cowboys podium after the big win.
Definitely. I think this is, part of the definition of a complementary football team. The offense picks up for the defense picks up for the, for the offense and special teams all the way around. So, there's plays that need to be made, especially down the stretch. And it was, it was a bumpy game out there. There's about 20, 21 penalties called, a lot of back and forth, a lot of resetting your jaw and just keep fighting. And I thought our men did a really good job there.
So the Cowboys win it, improving to 4-2 on the season. KSAT 12 Sports was there, so let's see what they've got from us from the Cowboys winning locker room.
I feel like we did a good job, getting the job done today. Could have been better, but we'll keep working.
What about Dak play? What do you think about Dak play?
I think he did pretty good. Making plays out of the pocket. Moving around, using his legs, trying to make plays. I think he had a good game.
The atmosphere was electric in Houston for Game 2 of the American League Championship Series. The Astros looking to tie the series up at a game apiece, but the Rangers' bats were on fire to start this one. Aroldis Garcia drills one into the right. That'll bring Corey Seager home from third to make it a 2-0 ball game. Stros starting pitcher Framber Valdez was in even more trouble when Mitch Garver got a hold of one. That'll drop in to bring Robbie Grossman home. The Rangers will play 4 runs in the top of the first inning. Bottom of the second, there goes that man. Yordan Alvarez hits the stitches off that ball, 420 feet, and he wasn't done there. 2-run game at the bottom of the 8th, and Yordan tells Aroldis Chapman, yeah, you're done for the night, buddy. That home run puts the Stros within 1, but the Rangers closer Jose Leclerc gets Jose Altuve to pop up to end it as the Rangers take Game 2, 5-4, the final. Game 3 will be in Arlington on Wednesday night. First pitch is set for 7 p.m. Now, the fun doesn't stop here because we got some Spurs preseason highlights right after the break, so stay with us. Well, the San Antonio Spurs' third preseason game was tonight against the Houston Rockets, and it featured a lighter roster without Victor Wembanyama and a couple of guys, but that was no problem for some of the Spurs veterans who probably wanted to show that, hey, we're part of the team too. Guys like Zach Collins getting a rebound and finishing with a two-handed slam. Then in the second half, Keldon Johnson get busy in the lane and taking the contact, getting the bucket to fall as well. The free throw made it a 14-point lead, but when the benches were emptied, the Rockets made a comeback, and Coach Pop's former assistant, Ime Udoka, got the last laugh against his former boss as the Rockets win it 99-89. It's a lot of craziness when it came to tonight, not just with that game, but obviously we saw with the Cowboys getting a huge win that they needed. So it's exciting around here.
It doesn't matter the score as long as the Cowboys won. I mean, this is a game they had to win.
Perfect, especially going right into the bye week. Gets them to kind of calm down a little bit, get a little bit more rest, get some guys healthy, and then
maybe there's some karma there.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
Maybe you and Stephanie should dress alike more often.
There you go. See these colors, these
He's
blue?
a little jealous. Yeah,
he likes it.
luck. Yeah.
You wish you could dress like this, don't you?
We're the Cowboys' good luck charm.
Exactly.
We'll go with that.
We'll get you the suit. Don't worry.
We'll be right back.
I'm feeling a little left out.